Hello, Swamiji. It's an honor to be here again.
What's your name?
My name is Matt.
Matt.
So a question, actually, you alluded to him before. You were talking about Sam Harris. And
Yes.
someone else you had here, Greg Good.
Yes.
They both speak very highly of the Headless Way. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
Yes.
So I was wondering about what exactly myself and a lot of people seem to be missing with that, because when I can see that when I look back at the space here, it's empty but full of all the forms, and that there's no end. Even when I stick my heads out, there's still consciousness here. But to me, it feels, and to many other people, it seems incredibly neutral, where it seems like anything, no matter how painful, is effortlessly welcomed into the present moment.
Yes.
But this description of infinite love and bliss, like what is missing here that me and a lot of other people seem to be
All right.
doing it?
So to give context, the Headless Way, it's like this. So one person, he wanted to see Shiva. And there's a story. And he meditated and did a lot of tapasya, spiritual practices. And he never saw Shiva. So in his dream, he was very sad. In his dream, Shiva appeared to him. And this person said, I've been seeking you, my Lord, but I've never been able to see you. Then Shiva said, all right, tomorrow I will come to you. Look for the headless person. And so the next morning, this man very happily went around looking for the headless. I'll see Shiva today. But everybody has a head. See? They all have heads. Yeah. You also. Everybody has heads. Everybody has heads. Where is the headless person? And until suddenly his own attention fell upon his own body, and he looked, chest, neck, can't see a head anywhere. Oh my God, this is what Shiva meant. The headless, who's the headless person? You are. So it's a Vedantic, the Mahavakya, Shiva is you. Tattvamasi, that you are. Or as Shankaracharya sings, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham, I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Now what does it mean? This is the practice. The practice is, sit quietly and notice that as it feels. As it feels means there's a word called phenomenology. Phenomenologically, I seem to have no head. Of course I have, but I seem to have no head. Because in the way I see it. And this space is full of what? Everything. The whole universe is here. Only my head is not here. Now what does it mean? Stay with that. Stay with that experience. Instead of thinking of yourself, myself as a person somewhere in this skull, experiencing an external world, see that remove this skull, this personality. It's a good, powerful meditation exercise. And headless, I am there. The whole universe is appearing. Where used to be that head? This world, everything else. It will inevitably go to the witness consciousness, which is not an object. All are objects appearing in me, the witness consciousness. Don't make the witness consciousness another object. It will become another skull, a head. It is the headless one. In that witness consciousness, all of these forms are arising. And as he said, I resist nothing. You can't. Everything that comes into consciousness is arising in that witness consciousness. Good, bad, desirable, undesirable, everything. Not the least bit of resistance is there. Now notice two things about it. One, all the desirable, undesirable, good and bad, they arise and disappear in me in this headless space of awareness. They arise and disappear. In Vedanta, the ground in which an appearance arises and disappears, that ground is called the reality, and the appearances are, technical term is mithya. If you experience something and then in that same place you experience its absence, then what you experience is not a reality. Then what is the reality? That ground is the reality. The underlying reality is that ground. Where did you experience it? In the headless space. Where are you experiencing everything? In the headless space. So the whole universe, which appears and disappears in the headless space, I am that headless space. In me, The whole universe appears and disappears. Therefore, the universe, all its people, all its events, good and bad, are appearances, like a dream. Bad is also another dream. You may call it a nightmare. It's also a dream. Because they are appearances, they are mithya, they are false, they are dream-like. The dream-like, the false, the appearance cannot affect the reality. Therefore, you, the headless space, that one consciousness not limited by a skull, you are not affected by what appears to you. Therefore, you can be neutral. For the painful and the not painful, because ultimately even the painful is not painful to you, that headless space. See, the vast blue sky is neutral to bad weather and good weather. One reason being, the sky is very clever, because the so-called bad weather can't do anything to the sky. The storms and thunder and lightning, and they cannot affect the vast blue sky. Similarly, the headless space is not affected by whatever appears in the headless space. If it was a skull, it would be affected. What I mean is a person, a limited person. The unlimited space of awareness is not affected by whatever appears in that space of awareness. And notice another thing. The reality never resists the appearance. Reality is no problem with the appearance. On a movie screen, you can play any movie whatsoever. Any movie. Tragedy, comedy, horror, realistic, science fiction, fantasy, whatever movie you want to play, you can play. The movie screen will not resist the movie, will not object to the movie. Not only that, it will enable the movie. The movie is possible only because of the screen. Only because of you are that headless space, the entire universe. You have given it space. You have given it refuge. It can exist and appear and play around only because of you. But all of this is nice to hear, but one must trace it out in one's experience. And that's why the headless way is a good way of starting, because it starts with it's a little trick. Don't tell yourself, what nonsense, of course I have a head. Don't tell yourself that. Just go with the feeling of it, that here are people with heads, I can't see my own head. So headless, there's nothing here. It's phenomenological, it's a trick. It's a trick of a way of throwing you back to your nature as awareness. It's tricking whom? It's tricking the mind. It's tricking the mind. Otherwise, if I think I am the person in this head, then the mind will think I am this person. Yes, I am this person. Who else am I? Vijnana Bhairava, there is a book in Kashmiri Shaivism. There are 112 such tricks. This is one. There are 112 such tricks. I don't know if the headless space is there, but similar ones are there. All of them have this one purpose of tricking you into seeing the ever-present pure consciousness.